So in this video I'm just going to quickly outline how I have my FPV car set up to record GPS data, and how I then can use that GPS data to create graphical overlays using Dashware, which is a software that allows gauges and maps and things using the data that is being stored on your radio from the GPS. This is the GPS here that I have on my car. It's an old GPS, but it's just like any other GPS we would use on our FPV or non-FPV equipment, standard UART connection, which I have wired up to this Matek Crossfire PWM6 receiver board. The board has its own UART on it, which can take the GPS data, and then it sends that GPS data via the receiver to your radio over the telemetry. If you connect up a current sensing wire to VBAT, it can also send that information via telemetry to your radio. So yeah, I have the receiver here with the UART connected and the wire connected to my VBAT. On the radio then, I have an arm switch effectively set up, which then records every half a second the telemetry log, and that saves that to the SD card, which we can extract afterwards. So once you have it all wired up, you just, as you would do with a plane or a quad that has GPS and a flight controller, you go to the telemetry page on your radio, you search for sensors, and all of those sensors appear, and those are the sensors that get recorded to the log. Once you've finished your flying, you've done what you're going to do, you connect your radio to the computer, connected via storage, navigate to the logs folder, and copy and paste the telemetry log that was saved, and copy that to your computer. That's what we're going to use to populate the information in our gauges. So download these files from my Google Drive from the link in the description, and install the Dashware software first of all. It will create a folder in your documents called Dashware, where it saves the data profiles, all the different types of gauges, things like that. The template folder here, copy that folder into the templates, so it'll be dropped in there. It's basically the GoPro metric template, but slightly changed just to suit my car setup. The other file, this one here, you want to copy that to the data profiles, and there it is there, and it's the file that translates the Excel spreadsheet of all your GPS positions, things like that, and maps it to the gauges. So do that first of all. Then what you need to do is now translate the OpenTX, slightly reformat it to a format that the OpenTX and the Dashware software can read. That's what this is. This is a script. Snappy FPV. I've just been following his guides that he has online, and that's effectively what this is. I've changed one or two of the details in it to suit myself, but it's all Snappy FPV's script, and I'll show you now how I use it. So just to give you an idea, this is the script that Snappy FPV has created that we will load into Google Sheets. What he has here is basically the script looking at the data that is inside a particular cell and then manipulating it or changing it. So whether that's splitting a particular cell into two and then renaming them, renaming a cell that's in a particular, for example J2, renaming that to speed. So where we have GPS speed, Dashware actually wants the word speed to be there, so we need to change it from GPS speed to the word speed, and whatever is in this cell J2, that's what's going to happen there. So what you want to do is copy your videos onto your computer and copy the log from the OpenTX, and you'll see that it'll be like this. And this is all of the sensors from OpenTX that were being recorded every half a second, which is the settings that I have OpenTX to record. So you have your GPS. Now Dashware doesn't like this format. It wants latitude and longitude, and it wants the headings to be slightly changed. The only ones that we're really concerned about: the date, time, GPS, this speed, and the altitude. I also use the satellites and the battery. So it's basically these first lot are what we want to concern ourselves with. The rest of it, I mean, you can play with them and add them to make the gauges show some of this, but basically it's this initial data is what we're wanting to use. So what you want to do is just go to Google, type in Google Sheets and load up a new Google Sheets kind of project, and click import, upload, and browse for your OpenTX file, the log file that you've pulled straight off the radio, and open that up. Import the data, and there it all is. So the script is going to change a few bits and pieces here, rename things. It's going to split this and then create a longitude and latitude. What you kind of need to do is just reorder these. So from memory it needs to be, and this is just from the way Snappy FPV has created his script, and I couldn't be bothered changing the script. It's just handy to move these. So you need the date, the time, GPS and altitude there, and then according to the script then we need to put GPS speed into column J. Again, I could just change the script to have that all in the native, but I've just been doing it this way and it works. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Then we go to tools, extensions and app script, and this is where we're going to load in Snappy FPV's script. Move that out of the way. And all we're going to do is copy and paste. So there's the script that he has created. And again, I mean, I could probably just change these, but no doubt I would change these, save it, and then when I load up a different script, it'll be slightly in a different place. But anyway, so that's his entire script. Copy and paste it into here. There it all is. Hit save. Now we're probably going to get an error appear here, just to do with permissions. So you save and then you hit run. And I'll think about it for a minute or two. Here we go, authorization review. Yeah, we'll use that one. Continue. Now you'll see what it's done there. It's deleted the date of the it's removed the GPS, but it's created two new columns called latitude and longitude, and it's populated them, and it's changed alt to the word elevation, and over here in J it's moved everything over one because it's renamed GPS speed to just speed, and it's created this empty column called current distance. Now we can go back to the script, and up here we can click calculate distance and press run, and Snappy's script is going to look at the latitude and the longitude, where they are each time, and effectively create the distance for us. So that's it. Now we just file, download, and we're just going to use CSV. And there we go, it's downloaded. So now the file was downloaded and I've just copied it into this folder. So this is everything we need kind of to work with now. We have the original log file and we have our new log file, which is being reformatted. It's put a column in here, OpenText import, and this is just something that Dashware needs to see. It needs to have a time. It's got the latitude, the longitude. We have speed. Elevation is here. Yeah, so it's got all the information. I could delete all of that out, but we don't need to delete it all out. We'll just leave it there for now. So now what we do is we open up our Dashware, file, new project. I'm going to select the template which we copied into the templates folder earlier and press OK. So this is just the little dashes. We're going to open a video, which was in here. Now the dashes were all the gauges were all very small before because it didn't know what aspect ratio and what resolution. I have mine formatted effectively to 4K because this is a 4K Moonlight video. Now we can browse and import our modified spreadsheet, and we can use the FPV car template which we imported into the profiles folder earlier, and we can add that. Now what it's basically doing is looking at the spreadsheet and translating the information to each of the gauges. If you have something that's not quite working out right, you can either double click on it to change it. So for example, this green line, let's change that to the same blue line as this one. So if I double click that, let's see what the heck's, cancel that. Let's see, let's copy that. Let's make this green line the same color. Yep, let's save that. There we go, we've just matched them up. Satellites here, there should be satellites. So if you want to change where it's reading which column of the spreadsheet, this is where you do that. So the stats box. And this is each of the information that is down the list here. So satellites wasn't quite picked up, so that's this one that's blank. And this is all the title, the headers of the columns in the spreadsheet, so there's satellites there. So it's populated that. So I mean, we could in theory put a set of satellites. We could change that to the throttle position, and then just change the label in here to throttle position, and then you can save that as a separate gauge. Let's change that back to sats. So there you go. That's how you do it. So that's them all in there, and we can watch the video. Now, something's not right here. They're not synced up. I had started to record the video before I armed and started to drive. So we need to now organize the synchronization. So that's where you do this. So we turn that down here off, and I can remember from making the video that it was about 1:25 before I actually started moving. So if we bring this up to about 1:25, we're close to it now. There we go, I've started to move. So let's just scroll this back to the point exactly where I'm about to move. I'll stop moving. Click it, click. There we go. Started to move. Now we'll move this one. Just whenever we see the first piece of data, the voltage just changed. As soon as I see the speed. Here we go. Nope. Go back. Now I'm going to press the sync button. So now when I hit play, the number should start to move just as I start to move, and it should roughly be in sync. There we go. And I'm sure you could spend some time and finesse that so you know it's exactly right. That's close enough. So now you have the video and the information imported and showing what you want to show. You can then click File, and we can now create a video which will overlay the gauges onto the video and render it out as a video file, or we can create just the image sequence, which basically just creates a PNG file every half a second or every frame or something like that, which you can then import and overlay into software like DaVinci Resolve, and that effectively creates a folder like this with all of the PNGs, which you can then just in Resolve drop in your video file, drop in that folder, move it to where you knew it was in sync, and that's it. So hopefully that helps. Leave any questions or comments down below and I'll try to answer them if I can.